Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by Layla Carroll herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear. Welcome back, family, to Improving Your Thoughts by Freeing Yourself. I am your host, Layla Cara, and today we're diving into a topic that's close to my heart. It's about protecting something you can't see, but you can feel. Your peace. Not your car, not your house, not even your image on social media, but your peace. Today, I want to give you a clear understanding how important peace is and how important peace should be in your life. Because here's the truth. When your peace is gone, everything else in your life starts to unravel. Today's topic is titled Protecting Your Peace Like It's Your Paycheck. And by the end of this podcast, I want you to understand one thing deeply. Your peace is the most valuable currency you'll ever own. So, grab some tea, get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's talk about how to guard something that is sacred. I'm giving you a moment to go get some tea. Okay, so let's be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, okay? I want to share a story with you. So there was a time when I used to hand out my piece like free samples at a grocery store. You know how they look crackers and stuff they used to always give you, or you go into the grocery store and you're able to get a little piece of cheese or something like that. And it's never enough, but yet you just hand it out in hoping that someone would come back for more. Okay, that was me when it came down to giving my piece away. Anyone could take a piece of it. My family members, co-workers, old friends, exes, whoever was the loudest, the most dramatic, or even the most persistent, I would say yes to when I really wanted to say no. I've overexplained myself, which was one of the things I talked about in one of my other podcasts. I used to over-explain myself to people who really did not care, and they already had their mind made up about what they wanted from me. Or I would even take calls knowing that the call, whoever the person was on the other line, was going to drain my energy. But yet I would answer anyway because I just felt the need that I needed to do that. But every single time I ended up exhausted, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually broken. It's just something that happened whenever I kept giving away my peace. I would be asleep, I'll wake up, I get a phone call, I answer the phone call when I shouldn't. And one of the things about me is when I first wake up I don't care if it's morning time, afternoon, or even at night, when I am first waking up, I have this thing about me where I need to protect my aura. I got to protect that energy because that sets the tone for the rest of my day. And I just know for a fact that if I don't protect that, anything can happen. And for an example, I'm gonna give you a little story about what happened with me one time. When I was 17 years old, I had this girl who used to always pick on me. Every time she saw me, she would always call my name. Now, the thing is that I was never bullied, so I can't say I was bullied. Now, well, I'll take that back. I was bullied. I was bullied by my brother, but it was a different kind of bully situation with him. He was my older brother, so you know how that can go. Big brother, big sister always pick on these younger siblings. So I don't really call that bullying, but it taught me to be strong. Now, it was this one girl I remember me and her. I didn't want to fight her. I just didn't want to. I knew that I could beat her up, but I just didn't want to fight her. I just wanted to let bygones be bygones. But every time this girl saw me, no matter where we were, she would call my name, and she would not just call my name, she was calling me all kinds of names. And the one thing I've noticed about her, what she wasn't doing, she was never close by when she did it. And I remember I was talking to this one guy, and we were just having casual conversation, and she saw us talking. She was about, maybe I would say 50 yards from me. I mean, she was nowhere close. But you can hear her scream. I could hear her screaming real loud. And she was like, "Why you talking to that bitch? You shouldn't be talking to her. She's ugly." I mean, yelling and screaming and going on. And I was just ignore it. And the guy I was talking to, he would say, why you not saying anything back to her? I say, "You see where she's at, right?" That's what I told him. I said, "You see where she's at, right?" And he said, "Yeah, she's over there." I said, "She's way over there." I'm not gonna yell. I'm not a yeller. And at that time, I was very quiet. I didn't say a whole lot. And people took my quietness as being scared. But really, my quietness was my strength, because you never knew what I was going to do. I would never tell you what I was going to do. I just strike like a snake. That's how I was. And I got into a lot of fights when I was a teenager. From elementary all the way through high school, I got into a lot of fights. You would think that people would know me by now, but the thing is that I moved from Bay City to San Antonio. So Bay City, Texas to San Antonio. I had moved. And in Bay City, people knew me. They knew, okay, not to mess with her. But when I moved to San Antonio, they didn't know me. I was the new girl. So what you think was going to happen? Oh, I'm going to try her. I'm going to test her. I'm going to see what she was about. Those kind of things. And the reason this girl didn't like me is because I had recently beat up one of her friends. And the reason why I beat up her friend, because the girl lied on me and got me in trouble. And I told her that I'm going to get you the next time I see you. I was on punishment. I was grounded, wasn't supposed to leave the house. I was outside. Actually, I wasn't even outside. I was on my balcony, we was on the second floor, and I was looking out, and I saw the girl walking towards the store, and I knew that was my perfect time to get her. My mom wasn't at home, even though my brother was supposed to have been watching me and tell if I left the house. But he sometimes he told on me and sometimes he didn't. So I was taking my chances on this one. I ran downstairs. I got in that girl's face. I told her, "Oh, so you wanna lie and you wanna get me in trouble. So if I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna whoop your ass too." And I remember beating her ass. And then her friend, the one who every time she saw me, she would call me name. She tried to break it up. And long story short, finally, this girl and I end up having a face off. So, and the way it happened was that I just woken up. Like I told you, when I just wake up, I have this thing about me where if I don't protect my aura, I don't know where it's gonna go from there. And this particular time, I did not protect my aura. I had just woken up. I was already off punishment. My grounding days was over with, and some months had passed. So this was like 2, 3 months. This girl was doing this stuff to me. And every time she saw me, I was all kinds of bitches. I was all kinds of, oh, I'm ugly, those type of things. And finally, I was at the store. I was at the store, the little corner store in the neighborhood. I was trying to pay for my purchase, and this girl walked on the side, on the right side of me. I remember like it was yesterday. She walked on the right side of me, and she just pushed me, shoved me over, and took my things that was on the counter and knocked it down and told the cashier, "Don't ring me up, ring her up first." Yeah, you think I would have I should have beat her ass on that spot, but I didn't want to be banded from that store since that was the only store in the neighborhood, and the next store was some blocks down, and I didn't want to be walking like that. So I kept my peace, and I waited until we got outside. When I paid for my things, walked outside, and I still didn't say anything. I kept my mouth shut. She ended up walking towards some other girls. It was about four different girls, and as I was walking by, I heard her say, look at her with her ugly ass," or something like that. And I heard another girl say, "Who you talking to?" And she said, "I'm talking about her." And then the girl said, "She's not ugly. So what is she? Why are you calling her ugly?" And she was like, "Well, she is to me." And then she was like, "What did she do to you?" And she said, "I don't care. I just don't like her. She gonna jump my friend, and then gonna act like she is all that. She ain't all that." And I'm thinking to myself, as I'm walking, I can hear her talking because she was loud, like she wanted me to hear what she was saying. And I got close, probably midway to my apartment, and I said, "You know what? Enough is enough. It's time out for all this. I'm not gonna let this girl keep talking. Now she's closer than she's ever been before. If I let her continue, the next time she's gonna do something else." So I was like, "Damn that." So I decided to go home. I put my stuff up. And at this time, I had a decent amount of hair, so I didn't want. I know how girls fight; they like to pull hair. So I went and I put my hair in two like French braids. I tightened it up real tight so you couldn't pull it loose. And I came back outside. She was still there talking to the girls. And this time I got on her face. I said, "What's up?" I said, "So you want to fight?" I said, "Come on." I said, "Let's do this." I said, "I'm sick of you. I'm so tired of you. Every time I turn around, you see me, you got something to say. So say it to my fucking face, bitch." And she was like shocked because she did not expect it. And this time she kind of backed up because I'm all up on her breast to breast. Like, "Bitch, come on, what's up?" And she backed up. She didn't want none of this smoke, but she was also put on the spot. She didn't think I had it in me. She knew I could fight, but she didn't think I would fight her. And I was like, "Oh, this bitch scared." When I knew then, I said, "This bitch scared. I'm gonna beat the shit out of her because ain't no way I'm gonna let you talk to me the way you did. And now I'm in your face and you don't want no smoke. You don't want none of this." I said, "Bitch, it's too late now." I said, "It's too late now. It's too late now. So what's up?" And then she was constantly backing up. And she started screaming and like, "Oh, you bitch, you ugly this and you that." I said, "You keep saying I'm ugly." I said, "That's the only thing you got is that I'm ugly." I said, "Girl, I'm far from that. So what's up?" And then I said, come on closer, come on closer." And then it was a crowd started gathering around. Now we got a crowd of people everywhere. So that means that no one, I'm not gonna let her back down. I'm not backing down. Bitch, I'm ready. I got my hair braided. I'm ready. Got my tennis shoes on. I got some different clothes on. I got my fighting clothes on. Let's go. So I remember walking up to her. Finally, I get a chance to get closer to her again and just went at her. And I'm welling on her, beating the shit out of her in the middle of the road. And then the police came. And I was like, fuck, you know. So if you fight in the streets, you can go to jail. This is like the San Antonio. This is the thing that this how they did it. You fight in the streets, they got you. I'm 17 years old. I didn't care though. I was still fighting this girl. And then someone came and grabbed me from the back. I don't know who it was, but they stopped the fight and they was like, "The cops, the cops, the cops." And so the cops like, "What's going on around here?" You know, that kind of stuff. And I'm just huffing and puffing, and I'm ready to still go at it. And people like, no, you don't want to go to jail behind this. Come on, stop, stop. So I was like, no, okay, okay. So I decided to walk away. Started walking back towards my apartment, and so this time my friend, she's there, my best friend at the time, she's there, and she was like, man, you had her. I said, man, I'm not finished with her. Then so I went back inside the house, and I'm like, man, I'm furious. I'm not done. I'm like, man, I'm not done. So this is doing daylight hours, but it was starting to get dark around this time. So, and this is during the summer months. So it was starting to get dark around this time. So it had to have been anywhere between maybe 7 when we got started, and now it's about 8:30 going on. It's basically night now, dark outside. I walk back outside looking for her. I'm like, I'm not done with this girl. I'm gonna find her. And I knew where she lived at. And I come knock on the girl's door. Bam, 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 bitch, come on out. So she comes outside and she's like, oh, you want some more? I said, bitch, you. I started wailing on her again. Now this time we over here by the middle school that I used to go to. We over here by Wheatley Middle School over there in that area. And that's even worse if you fighting by a school. But who care? I didn't care. So I just kept going at this girl. I'm beating the hell out of her. I'm putting her in a headlock and just bam, bam, bam. All of a sudden I felt a hard grip on the side of my breast. She bit me, you guys. She bit the hell out of me. She bit me so bad I started screaming. And I remember screaming, this bitch is biting me. And I just kept whop, 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 whop. Let me go, bitch. Let me go. Whop, whop, whop. And she wouldn't let me go. She had me like a pit bull. She would not let me go. So I just I'm I shouldn't be giving away my secrets, but I am notorious for finding pressure points on people. So I decided to dig my dang on hands, my fingers, and her eyeballs off and to snatch them out, and that's what made her stop. This time the cops showed back up again. The same cop at that. I guess he was like patrolling the area or something. So he came back and he's like, oh no, you're under arrest. And as this cop started walking towards me, one of the pastors of the church that I used to go to happened to be around. This is how I know God was with me. He's like, girl, I'm going to save you. You needed to whoop her tail, but at the same time, I don't want you going down for this. So this pastor came. I don't know where he came from, but he was in his car. He jumped out the car and he got out. And he's like, no, 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 no. I know her. I know her. She goes to my church. She's a good girl. She don't bother nobody. And if she's fighting, that must mean that they must have picked on her. And he was like, sir, officer, I will make sure that she is not fighting no more. I will get her home. I know her and her mother. I know her family. I'm telling you, she's a good girl. And the police was like, he's like, who are you? I'm Pastor. He said his name. He said, and he's like, I'm Pastor Dean or whatever. He said, I'm Pastor Dean or something like that. And that was his name. Yeah, he's also the one who baptized me at 14. And he was like, I definitely will make sure she get home. And I'm like, where did he come from? And I'm like, this ain't even your neighborhood. Where you come from? It's like God sent this man. But at the same time, I still got that mark on the side of my breast to this very day. So when I be looking at myself, I'm taking a shower, I see it. I'm reminded of my fight that I was not going to let no one keep taking my peace away. I listened to you, and yet here you go. You want to keep messing with me. And no matter how much I was trying to be calm, I was trying to keep myself together. I mean, no amount of kindness that I was trying to show, no napping, no vacation, no spa days could fix the fact that I had to let that girl have it at that particular time. So just realize sometimes you have to protect your peace by any means necessary. That's not a physical exhaustion, you guys. It's a soul exhaustion. And that's what was going on with me. I was being exhausted from my soul. Enough was enough was enough. Okay? So here's another story I want to tell you. So one day, and I'm much older at this time when in this story here. At that time I was 17. Now I'm a lot older and everything. So one day I was sitting in my car. So as you know, I got a car now. After yet another argument that I didn't even start.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Cara style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarolstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like. I said to myself out loud, I can't keep living like this. That's when it hit me that peace is like money. You can't spend what you don't have. You can't invest. You can't invest it. You can't even share it. You can't stretch it. And at that moment, I realized something simple as that was powerful. I was treating my peace like it was loose change, just throwing it around, tossing it around, throwing it in the glove compartment, console in the middle of the car, just tossing it to the side. So I decided right then and there, my peace deserves protection. It deserves my priorities. And I had to budget it. I had to budget it. I'll say budget. I have to budget it. So how do you budget peace? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what it really means to budget your peace. Peace isn't passive. It doesn't just happen. Peace is active work. You have to make sure that you're actively working on it. It's spiritual discipline. You can have you have to guard it, you have to budget it, and you have to decide who or what get access to it. Just like you've never hand over your paycheck to a stranger. Sure, you don't even hand over your paycheck to anybody, matter of fact. So you want to spend it the same way, your peace. You want to spend it the same way. You can't let people spend your energy however they want. Every yes you give is a transaction. Every argument you engage in is a withdrawal. Every boundary you ignore is an overdraft protection that's turned off. The scriptures in Psalms 33:14, that's the New Living Translation. I live by this scripture here. And it says, turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. See, I like to add a little ad lib to it, even though the Bible says don't add to it or take away, but I think it'll be okay. So my version of this is turn away from evil and do good, search for peace, and work hard to maintain it. So work hard to maintain it because it's not easy to maintain. It says to work to maintain it, but it's hard at the same time. You can try your best. Any little thing can take your peace away. So I want you to ask yourself right now, who's on my peace payroll that isn't earning their check? Who's on my peace payroll that isn't earning their check? You might have somebody there that needs to be fired, all right? Pause for a moment and really think about that. Who could this person be? You probably letting them slip through the crack, and they've been doing it for a very long time. Who keeps taking and never depositing anything back into you. Maybe it's someone you love. Maybe it's a habit. It might not even be a person. It might be something that you're doing. So it might be a habit that you've gotten too comfortable with. Maybe it's the version of you can't say no to. Sometimes you take your own peace away by your behavior and the choices that you're making that should be changed by now. So what happens when you say no instead of yes? So the lesson of no. Let me tell you about the first time I said no and truly meant it. My first love. I was deeply in love with him. He wanted me to show up for him after he ignored my love for him for years. From the age of 16 to 21. Yes, I was in love with this guy. I was. At 16, my first love? Come on now. But it took me all the way to 21, to age 21 to make this change, just to realize what it really was, what was really happening in this so-called love triangle, because he was definitely not, I was not his only one, but he was my only one. But he was not I was his only one, but I was not his only one. And I knew that. But yet I kept going back to him and allowing him to be the person he was, doing the things he was doing, and disregarding my love that I actually have for him. He would be that person. But one day, I was over to his house, and everything in me wanted to give into him like I've always done before, out of routine. But something inside of me kept saying, not this time. Not this time. You can't do this time. You have to change it. He's never going to change because you're not changing. You have to make him realize that he can't keep treating you the way he's treating you. He was not abusive. Not at all. I have never experienced abuse until I got married to that narcissist. So he was not abusive. That he wasn't. He was great when it came down to how he treated me when we was together. And that's why I was so hooked, because of how he treated me when we was together. But when we was not together, he treated another woman the same way, the way he was treating me. I found out about it, but yet I continued to see him. I continued to have sex with him. I continued to be with him, knowing that he literally was not only with me. Hey, what can I do? But on that fine day, when I decided enough was enough, I didn't want to do this no more, I walked away and I said no, not today. And I remember, oh man, I remember this day. We was in the room at his house, and I'm 21 years old at this time, so he's grown, he's older than me, and he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, this is not it for me. I don't want to keep doing this. This is not it. I walk away feeling empty inside. I don't feel like I'm worthy for myself. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, come on now. Be honest. Be honest. Let's be honest with each other. If you really wanted me, you would have made me your main girl by now. And not only that, you would stop messing with those other girls. You would be with me only. And at this time, he wanted to have a baby. I didn't want to get pregnant knowing that this guy was not going to be that one for me in my life. I woke up. Now, let me take it back. When I was 16, he started talking about having a baby. I told him no. I got on birth control because of him. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna let this dude get me pregnant. But he didn't know it. I didn't tell him. I didn't want him to know I was on birth control. And the whole time, while he's really trying to get me pregnant, I was not getting pregnant. And I remember we was outside talking, and he said something to me. He said, I don't understand why you're not getting pregnant. He said, it's not normal. He said, unless you on birth control. And I just got quiet and I was like, wouldn't you like to know? I said, man, I'm not finna have your baby. We ain't finna do this. I remember saying that. We're not finna do this. And he was like, are you on birth control? And I said, I'm not gonna answer that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we ain't doing this. And then by the time I was 18, I changed my mind. I was ready to have his baby. Oh my God, how stupid was I? You know the reason why I wanted to have his baby because he had gotten someone pregnant. And this girl that he got pregnant, her mother and my mother and my one of my mother's sisters were good friends with each other. I was never friends with her, but I just know my mother and her mother was really good friends. They was always around each other, always at each other's houses. I wouldn't go over there. I wouldn't go there. I just didn't. And not because I didn't like the girl. It was just because me and her didn't have anything in common. She was more gangster and I was more girly girl, as well as tomboyish at the same time. I played sports, but I didn't dress like a boy. I was girly girl. I was cute, that kind of stuff. But I was more like, I would say like Angel Reese, if you know the basketball player Angel Reese. I was more like her. And she was always in trouble. And matter of fact, I had found out that she was selling drugs and I didn't want no part of that. And her and her mother stayed into it all the time. And I just didn't want to be around there. I had a smart head on my shoulders, even at a young age. So it was just something that I just stayed away from. So me and her never gotten close because of that. I didn't care that her mother and my mother were friends. I did not care. But at the same time, when I found out about her being pregnant, I was heartbroken. And I ain't telling you guys a piece of the story how this even went down. I think I should take it back to let you know how this even went down this way. So I had moved from San Antonio back to Bay City when I was 17 years old. And during that period of time, I wasn't with this guy. We wasn't together. And he had wrote me a letter telling me that he couldn't do long distance relationships, which I understood. I got that. But at the same time, I didn't know that him and her had started engaging in a relationship with each other until I came back to San Antonio. I moved back to San Antonio at 18 on my own. And when I found out that she was pregnant, I was happened to be at his house. She showed up and I was thinking to myself, what is she doing here? Why is she here? Out of all people, her? And he reacted with a strange reaction that let me know that he was messing with her. And but he tried to protect me. And the reason why I say that because she wanted to fight me. And she was like, come on outside, come on outside. And she kept calling me by my name, come on outside, come on outside. And he was like telling her, no, you're not going to fight her. I'm not going to let you fight her. And she was like, fuck this baby. I killed this baby and all this stuff. And I was like, she's pregnant? And I was just so destroyed inside. This is my first love, man. And she pregnant? And I was like, oh no, what? And he was like, I don't care if you do kill that baby, but I'll tell you one thing, you ain't gonna touch her. And I'm thinking like, what? This man don't even care about his own kid. And then he came back in the room. I stayed in the room the whole time, but I could hear her yelling through the door. And so he comes back in the room. He say, don't worry about her. I'm not gonna let her touch you. And I said, she's pregnant. And he was like, yeah, I don't even know if it's my baby or not. I said, what you mean you don't know? He said, you know how she can be. She be with many guys. I said, but yet you was with her. And he's like, yeah, at the same time, I was with her, but not only me. It was another guy that was with her too. And we all don't know all. He said, I'm just letting you know. I don't know if that's my kid or not. So I'm not attached to the kid. Not like that. And I'm thinking like, seriously, this is a lot of drama for me to come back to. I can't do this. That was the first time I realized that things was not going to be the same with us. And I realized that this can't be. But then the girl started trying to get in the house, like, cause he had locked the door, and she started trying to get in his house, and she still was screaming and yelling through the door. And I was looking around for something to fight her with, because I wasn't gonna fight her straight up because I knew that she could probably beat me up. This is one girl I had a feeling that could fight me and win because I seen her fight before plenty of time and even fight guys. I'm like, oh, she was whooping some dudes. But one time, I told you she sold drugs, so she was about that life. And I was like, man, I do not want to have to fight this girl, but I will. And I remember he was not allowing her to get close to me, not at all. And he was like, if I have to, I will call the police on your ass. You better get up out of here, girl. And then she ended up leaving. We sat there and me and him, we had a conversation. And I don't know what compelled me to want to have that man's baby, but I thought to myself, if he's want a kid like that, then I'm pretty sure he'll take care of this kid. So why is I'm worried about it? Because now I'm at legal age, considered grown. I'm on my own. I have a job. I'm graduating. I was still in high school. I was graduating from high school at this particular time already, and I'm thinking like, I can do this. And I got off birth control. I stopped taking birth control. I remember months passed. I still wasn't getting pregnant. And when that one day came, I'm 21 years old. Yeah, I'm 21 years old. And I finally realized that I did not want to do this. This is not it. And God was protecting me the whole time to keep me from getting pregnant, This is not it. This day, to this very day, right now, yes, that was his child. I remember meeting his daughter for the first time through the girl. And I told you, her mother and my mother was friends. So when I saw her with the baby in the stroller, that baby looked just like him. I mean, like spit him out, split image. And I said, oh my goodness, that's his baby. And she said, yeah, and he don't want nothing to do with me. And I was like, what? And she said, yeah, he don't want to do it. I said, but he wanted a kid. And she was like, yeah, I know, but that's okay. I just put him on child support. And I knew then I was making a mistake. I can't have this man's baby. I can't do this. I can't do this. No, this can't happen. So when I walked away saying no at the age of 21 to this dude and the silence that followed, it wasn't emptiness. I wasn't empty. It was peace. Because that no wasn't rejection. It was protection. That was the day I learned that every time I said no to chaos, I was saying yes to calm. Yeah, I got a lot of stories in my life, especially dealing with relationships. I don't really talk about all of them, but I have some that I do want to share with you guys throughout the podcast and the segments that I have, just to give you an idea of why I'm the way I am today and how I am the way I am today. So let's do some reflection. Let's slow it down right here. We're going to slow down for a little while, and I want to do some reflection. I want you guys to think. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to think about the answer. So before we do that, let's take a deep breath. Let's breathe in slowly. Hold it. Now exhale. Okay. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in slowly. Hold it. Now exhale slowly out of your mouth. There you go. You should feel a whole lot better. So I'm going to ask you these questions. I want you to answer these questions, okay? So I want you to ask yourself the questions that I'm asking you and answer them to yourself. Number one, where am I getting... No, let's take it back. Question number one, where am I giving away my peace for free? Where am I giving away my peace for free? And whatever your answer is to that question, I want you to think about how you can stop giving away your peace for free. Make them pay for your peace. They should be paying you, not you paying them. Number 2, who or what has access to me without my permission? Who or what have access to me without my permission? I'm pretty sure there's somebody there that has this answer already. One of you guys have this answer. You want to take that piece away. You want to take away their access. Do not allow them to have access to you like this. If that's something that you're not giving away on purpose, they don't have your permission to have access to you, it's time to close that door. And then number 3, what am I saying yes to that my spirit keeps saying no to? So keep in mind that, for those of you who don't know, our spirit always want to do what's right. And our soul is what ultimately make the decision. That the choices that we make, our soul carries our emotions, our feelings, our choices. That's what the soul is about. That's why you hear when someone passes away, they say rest in peace. They're talking about the soul, because the spirit belongs to God. It comes from God. It goes back to God when you pass away. Your body goes to the dirt, it goes to the ground, it turns back into the dirt that it was made out of. So that's why we are 3-part being, and in God's likeness and image, we are created from that, and that's the spirit part of us. But our soul is the part that makes the decisions. So you have to get your soul in line with your spirit. And if you don't know how to do that, I will probably do a segment sometime, maybe even, I don't know. I'll figure it out how I want to do it to help you guys to get your soul and your spirit aligned with each other. Now, it's a journey. It's nothing that you can do overnight. It's nothing you can do in an hour or two. It's something that you have to do for a lifetime. Because when your soul and your spirit separate from each other and it wars with each other, that's a problem. That's when chaos is always going on in your life. But the minute that you learn how to align your spirit and your soul with one another, then you learn how to live in peace and harmony with yourself. And no one can come in and interrupt that, because you automatically see when they're trying to do it. So let those questions set with you. I want you to sit in them. I want you to think about it. If you have to rewind this and write them down and then answer the questions on paper so you can see your answers, that would probably help you even more so. So do that. So because I want you to know, because peace begins when you stop negotiating with your boundaries. I want to also give you some guided meditation moments. So let's try to do a little bit of that right now. I want you to close your eyes if you're not driving. Close your eyes if you can. And picture your peace as a glowing light. Right in the center of your chest, you have this big glowing light. That's your peace. Now imagine that light as a paycheck. One of the biggest paychecks you've ever gotten in your life. Not from a job, but from just because you are who you are. So that's one of the biggest paycheck ever. It's not enough numbers, not enough zeros at the end of those not enough commas, and not enough zeros. This is one of the big paychecks you got, okay? So something you work for, something you value, and now imagine people, situations, distractions. Each of them are trying to take a little bit of it at a time. How do you feel about that? How did that make you feel, thinking that people are trying to take away your peace, your paycheck, what you work so hard for yourself to accomplish, and it's very valuable to you? How do you feel about that? Okay. Instead of them being able to take over and take a little bit at a time, this time I want you to imagine that you're not handing it over to them. you're guarding it, and you're saying to yourself that this piece is not for sale. This piece is not on discount. This piece belongs to me and only me. All right? So every time someone's trying to take away your peace, you need to recite those words, say those words. And if you don't remember them by heart, write it down. The first one was, this piece is not for sale. Write that down. The second one, this piece is not on discount. That means they can't even take a little bit of it. Okay? And this piece belongs to me. I'm not talking about a piece of paper. I'm talking about your peace that's within you. Okay? I want you to take another deep breath in. Inhale through your nose slowly. Hold it for 4 seconds. Now exhale through your mouth. And as you exhale, you're going to say, anything that tries to take my peace and make me feel guilty is not for me. Anything that tries to take my peace and make me feel guilty is not for me. So you want to protect your peace at all times, all right? Remember the scripture, work to maintain it. Stay away from evil, do good, and work to find peace, search for peace. So stay away from evil, do good, search for peace, and work to maintain it. I want to also give you some affirmations, and I want you to repeat these affirmations after me. Now, repeat after me. Say it out loud if you can. If you can't, whisper it. But say it with vibration. Use the words. Remember, words of vibration. So let it flow off your tongue. You're going to say, I protect my peace like I protect my paycheck. That's number one. I protect my peace like I protect my paycheck. Number two, you're going to say, repeat this after me. I no longer overdraw my energy account. I no longer overdraw my energy account. Number three, my peace is my proof that I love myself. My peace is my proof that I love myself. And number four, I choose calm over chaos every single time. I choose calm over chaos every single time. So let that settle into your heart. And you're going to repeat those affirmations every time you feel any type of chaos rising up in your spirit. You want to definitely repeat those affirmations, because every word you just said is a deposit into your peace account. So keep depositing those words into your peace account. All right. So this part of the podcast is our questions from some of the listeners, and I'm going to answer each of them. I'm going to only do 3 questions, and I'm going to answer them, okay? The best of my ability. So let's get real. I always ask my listeners, or at least I try to ask my listeners to send me some questions in about peace, and I just want to try to hit on a few of these, okay, and see if any of these resonate with you guys. Maybe y'all could relate, but this is to answer the questions to those who had asked me this question. So question number 1 says, Layla, how do I protect my peace when it's my own family that disturbs it? Well, you talking to someone who's actually going through that. So let's see. Okay. If you haven't listened to my recent podcast, and I mean the last 5 that I just did, then you could have this question answered already. So I'm going to go ahead and answer this question for you now. I will say this to you. Family doesn't get a free pass to your energy. Yes, you can love them, but love them with boundaries. Keep your boundaries. You can honor your family and still honor yourself. Who said you can't do that? Peace with family doesn't always mean constant contact. You got to always keep in contact with them. It just means consistent respect. So if you have to take a break from talking to your family members, sometimes do that. This is a hard part of the year. Thanksgiving is next month. So we usually get together with our families, and it's very hard around this time of the year for some people. Some people don't know how to say no. You might be one of the ones who don't even want to go around your family this year. It's okay to tell them no and say, not this year. I'm going to take some time for myself. And they might think you a little off, throw it off, or something's wrong with you, but who cares? Let them think that way. Let them go on about their merry way, and explain to them maybe after New Year's, hey, I took that break for myself. I know you guys might not like the fact that I took that break, but I needed it. I want y'all to know that I might do the same thing next year too, so don't be surprised. You don't have to go into deep conversation about it. Remember, I said don't over explain yourself. Just give them a little 1 or 2 sentences and be okay with that. So let's move on to question number 2. Number 2. What if I lose people when I start protecting my peace? Child, let me tell you, you're going to lose them anyway. Whether you keep protecting your peace or you stay in that chaos, it doesn't matter. You ain't got them. They ain't there. They not there. They only there for one purpose, to serve one purpose on, and that is to continuously making you miserable. You will lose them, and that is okay. Some people were only connected to you through chaos. When peace enter, they exit. Let them go. Your peace will attract the right people who comes with calmness in their spirit and in their heart, not confusion, okay? So you should let them go. Don't be afraid to lose some people. Actually, you're not even losing people. I don't know why we always say we lose people. You're not losing them. What you're doing is freeing them to go on to their merry way and be the way they are with someone who wants to tolerate it, while you continue to go on your merry way and you build yourself and become stronger than you ever been, so you can do what you actually are supposed to be doing here on this earth. Hope that answered your question. So number 3. Question number 3 says, how do I know if I'm being selfish or just setting boundaries? Let's see. Selfishness, it takes from people, but boundaries protects. It protects you. It also protects the other person too, to not allow them to go too far. So ask yourself, is this boundary keeping others out or keeping my sanity in? Which one? And if it happens to be keeping my sanity in, hey, you're doing the right thing. So your sanity is what matters, your mind. Protect it, okay? But if it's just to keep people out, then you are being selfish. You want to know why are you keeping people out? Who are the people that you're keeping out? If it's your relative, or is it someone that, a friend, or someone who's trying to stay in your life and you don't want them there? I'm not going to say that you're actually being selfish on that. What I would say is, if your only reason is because you just don't want people around you, then that's a selfish thing, because we do need one another. Just like you listening to my podcast, you needed to hear this from me. Well, you never know what that person is there for. So pay attention to why they're there by their actions. What are they bringing to you? Are they pouring into your life good things? then they are supposed to be there. Or they point into your life bad things, then okay, yeah, keep them out. All right. So, I want to give you a assignment. You probably like, assignment? Yeah, I do. I want to give you something. It's called the peace budget. How to do this? It's a plan that you put together for yourself. I want you to do this. It's going to help you to keep your peace. I remember the scripture I said, work to maintain it. You can't just have it one day and think it's okay tomorrow. No, you got to work at this all the time. Every hour on the hour, you're working at this. So what I want you to do this week, I want you to make a peace budget. And here's how it works. I want you to take a sheet of paper and I want you to draw a line down the middle from the top to the bottom. And what I want you to do, you have two columns. On the left side, I want you to write the word at the top, deposit. And on the right side, you're going to write the word at the top, withdraw. So in the deposit area, you're going to write down everything that you can actually think of that gives you peace. Even the people, the places, the things that you do, write that down. What gives you peace? And then on the withdrawal side, I want you to write down the things that drains you. The people, the places, the things, and the things that you do. What is draining of you? Sometimes it might even be your job that's draining you. You'd be surprised. Jobs does it. Some people's jobs does it all the time. Places the way you work at. Not even just the people. There's just the things that you're doing for that job, And write that down. Now, every day this week, I want you to commit to spending more time in the deposit column, in the area that brings you peace. Spend more time in that area, doing those things, being around those people, um, going to those places, or being in that spot, or whatever. It might be your home might bring you peace. Like to me, my home bring me peace. I like being at home because there was a time when I wasn't at peace in my own home. And now I got that. So I basically I'm not allowing anyone to just show up in my house. I stopped you at the door. What's up? What you want? No, you can't come in. You could talk to me right there. What's the deal? You supposed to call before you show up. Don't just show up at my house. I'm serious. I protect my peace. So, and even sometimes when I do allow certain people to come over, I can feel if the energy is off. I have to cleanse my home immediately. I do a cleanse. I cleanse my home and I go back to my peaceful way of living. So, what is it that you do? Do those things. Spend time in that column for this week. Okay. So, if the conversation that you have is draining over the phone, so you're talking to somebody on the phone and you know this conversation is draining, hang up early. Come up with an excuse to get off the phone with them. Don't feel bad. I don't care who the person is. Don't feel bad. No matter who the person is, don't feel bad. Just think of what can I do or say to get off this phone. Because this is draining me. You don't have to tell them that they're draining you because now you might get into an argument. So what you do is say, hey, I forgot. That's something I need to be doing right now. I'm going to call you back later. And then get off the phone. And call them back when you feel that you have the energy to talk to that person again. And let's say that it's social media. Now, I go on, like I told you once before, my husband, I'm always getting on him about the social media thing. Because now he's even deeper into the social media. It's always something dealing with the government. And yes, we're dealing with the government shutdown right now. But at times like this is the best time to actually get your peace. This is the best time to maintain your peace and work hard at keeping it. And this is the best time to get into prayer. I mean, prayer, prayer, prayer. So if you're on social media and it's starting to stress you out, log off. And if you have a habit of clicking on it just because it's on your phone, then deactivate the app. Remove it off your phone so you don't be so quick to go back to it. Now, what if it's not social media? What if it's not you on the phone or as a person or whatever? What if it's you? We have war that's within us. We war inside of ourselves, especially when I told you when your spirit and your soul is not in alignment with each other. That's when you are warring inside of yourself. What if your thoughts start running wild? I just taught you how to do this breathing exercise. You want to do your affirmations. I just gave you some. So breathe and remind yourself that peace comes first. Peace is always at the top. No matter what, peace is always at the top. So you don't owe anyone access to your energy if they keep paying you with stress. Remember that. You do not owe anyone access to your energy, not even yourself when your mind is running wild. If they keep paying you with stress, that is the pay that they're giving you. It's time to cut it off. So in my closing, I want you to reflect. So I want you to know one of the things that I've learned, and hopefully it'll help you, is when I finally learned to protect my peace like my paycheck, everything changed. My relationship shifted. My relationship with people, it shifted. My mornings got quieter, which I love my quiet mornings. Oh man, when I get up and it's quiet, I love that. That is to me the sound of peace. Like, I do have a podcast where I'm gonna talk about noise when the world is loud. How to have peace when the world is loud. But that comes along a little later. Because even though I love my quiet mornings, sometimes they're not always quiet. I told you about when I go to work and people just gotta have a conversation for some reason. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and you up just like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. No, we're not gonna do that. But you have to learn how to do what I'm teaching you right now. Practice these things on a consistent basis. But also my mind became clear, so I'm able to think clearly. My spirit finally could rest. Peace isn't a destination, it's a decision. One day at a time. This is something that you got to make every single day. Peace is not a destination, it is a decision. So it's not a place you got to get to. It's your mind got to be made up about it. So from this day forward, protect your peace like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. You don't realize that one thing I do realize about when you have peace, most of the time people who live in a peaceful life, they're healthier. They don't have a lot of diseases dealing with their body and everything. So your life does depend on it. This week, I challenge you to say one powerful word. What is that word you say? That word is no. Tell someone no this week. Say it with love. Not with no. Don't do that. Say it with love. No. Just no. No. There's so many ways you can say no. 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 Nah. No. Nope. Nope. No. I mean, there's so many ways you can say no. And then say it with a way where they like, okay. So say it with love. Say it with confidence. But say it without guilt. Don't feel guilty when you say no. Because every time you say no to drama, you're saying yes to your destiny. And if this message touched your spirit today, share it with someone who's running on empty. You might know somebody who needs some fuel in their tank. Share this podcast with them. Just copy the link and give it to them. Tell them, hey, listen to this. So help them remember that peace isn't selfish, it's sacred. I'm Alayla Carroll, and this has been an amazing episode on improving your thoughts by freeing yourself. Until next time, stay grounded, stay gentle, and protect your peace at all costs, just like your life depends on it. Signing out, Alayla.
Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing Stress Management with Imaging Coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey you will be taking with us here at Imaging Coaching, we'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, regain control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com.